Good evening. You're watching Look Up TV. My name is Louis, and that means it's time for the news. Tonight on Look Up News, another Jamhuri Day celebration, a first for President William Ruto. And Ruto awards Jamhuri Day attendees with scholarships. Lots of pomp and color as Kenya marks 59 years of Jamhuri. And marathon legends put on their medical running shoes in Eldoret. Christmas mood, Christmas spirit. I told you this when the Hustler Fund was launched, and here we go. President William Ruto has declared all government operations will go digital in the next 6 months. During his maiden Jamhuri celebration as head of state, President Ruto says his government intends to leverage on opportunities presented by the digital spectrum to advance innovation, development, and job creation. Henry Tende was there.
In respect to this year's Jamhuri Day celebration theme, Innovation in the Digital Space, President William Ruto had a special message for Kenyans and invited high-profile guests.
Today we celebrate this Jamhuri in a special way that we have intentionally profiled this Jamhuri to be the Jamhuri of technology and innovation. We have done so deliberately and intentionally because of the huge potential that exists in our technology and innovation space.
The head of state has announced all government functions will be digitized in the next 6 months to ease access to his administration's operations.
We intend to transfer 85% of the remaining government services to the digital space so that every Kenyan, wherever they are, they do not have to get into any bus to go to get government services or queue in any line to access government services. It will now be possible in 6 months, when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services, it will be possible for Kenyans to access government services from their comfort of their homes and the workplace using the internet, because government services will be available on that platform.
To facilitate this, the Kenya Kwanza government will be investing in high-end internet speed that will see various households connected.
We have decided that we are going to have a 100,000 kilometer super highway that is going to be built to enable internet access our homes, our cities, our towns, and every part of the Republic of Kenya, because that is how we are going to be delivering government services going into the future.
One of President William Ruto's key promises is to revolutionize agriculture and position Kenya as a food-sufficient nation. President Ruto says the fertilizer subsidy program will be among the functions to be digitized.
We intend to deliver our subsidy program on fertilizer, on e-voucher, that is going to be available to 1.3 million farmers. And I want to encourage our farming community to register themselves, because going forward, our fertilizer subsidy program is going to be dispensed on the internet, on e-voucher, so that we can eliminate brokers and eliminate cartels and ensure that targeted farmers have access to fertilizer.
Speaking before high-profile experts in the digital space, President Ruto has projected the adoption of digital spectrum in the country will create more than 1 million jobs in the near future.
We have a target of 1 million jobs from our technology space. we've had a candid conversation with our technology and digital space leaders that Kenya, going into the future, we're going to have 1 million jobs, and that is why it is necessary and it is important that all of us understand the importance of technology and the place of innovation going into the future.
Revisiting his promise to clean the police department, the head of state notes there have been notable changes in the way the security apparatus conduct themselves.
We have engaged successfully to reorient policing operations from a heavy and illegitimate reliance on illegal and extrajudicial interventions, which frequently entailed such intolerable violations as abductions, torture, disappearance, and murder. There is now consensus that a new policing paradigm is at hand, and it is possible to achieve a high level of security for our citizens and also observe their rights and freedoms to the greatest extent. I commend the entire National Police Service, from the constable on the beat to the Inspector General, for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced the changes and enhanced our general security through increased vigilance and improved relationship with citizens.
The Commander-in-Chief has revealed his government will be importing additional food products to cover for the deficit occasioned by reduced rainfall. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
This was being said in the presence of more than 20,000 Kenyans who attended the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations at Nyayo Stadium in Nairobi. And there they benefited from scholarships from Arizona State University worth 1,000 shillings. 100,000 shillings. While announcing the program, President Ruto said the online education program is aimed at addressing unemployment by equipping learners with skills in different sectors. Edwin John Mukora reports.
Tukimkaribisha Rais katika makala ya 59 ya Jamhuri ya Kenya.
The 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations were different with other Jamhuri Days, as today it had the theme of technology and innovation with the aim of growing talents through technology.
Today we celebrate this Jamhuri in a special way that we have intentionally profiled this Jamhuri to be the Jamhuri of technology and innovation.
As he had announced on Sunday, President William Ruto has announced scholarships worth 100,000 to more than 20,000 attendees at the Nyayo Stadium in Nairobi.
As promised, everyone present in this stadium today will get a free scholarship on global entrepreneurship and innovation from the Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. It is now time to keep that promise.
The scholarships from Thunderbird School at Arizona State University in the United States is on global entrepreneurship and innovation in 16 units and would have cost each learner 100,000 shillings, and it is aimed at equipping them with skills in different sectors so as to deal with the unemployment through digitization.
A 16-unit course that would have costed you 100,000 is now accessible to you for free, courtesy of the Innovation Jamhuri.
The attendees were expected to scan a QR code so as to get access to the scholarships.
There is a QR code near you. Mumeipata? Scan and access the scholarship now.
The program is aimed at graduating 10,000 learners so as to reduce unemployment in the country, which stands at 10.4%.
Tumpe pia magofi rubani huyo tafadhali.
Edwin John Mukora, Look Up TV.
Ndege aina ya Puma.
It was the President's Day, and so these are the stories that surrounded this big day called New and Special. And indeed, President Ruto defended the Hustler Fund against his critics at his speech during the celebrations today. President Ruto thwarted the Azimio leader Raila Odinga, accusing him of derailing Kenyans from paying the Fuliza loan. Ruto termed the opposition's move as inhuman.
Fund itakuwa ya bure, imekuwa haijakuwa. Na hiyo Hustler Fund msirudishe tafadhali.
While responding to his critics from the opposition, President William Ruto during the Jamhuri Day celebrations fired a salvo at the opposition leader Raila Odinga for what he termed as being pessimistic about the Hustler Fund initiative.
Let me say for the record and ask fellow leaders, my good friends, you are borrowing your mortgage at 3%. You have the capacity to borrow from your bank at 14%. Why do you want to derail the hustlers who today are suffering from shylocks and from predatory lenders, and they are being charged 360%? And you're telling them not to pay money given to them at 8% so that they can go back and pay at 360%.
The president vehemently defended the Hustler loan, stating that due to its low interest, it has enabled Kenyans to save and boost their businesses, terming the opposition move as inhuman act.
And it is clear that two things have come around because of what you have seen on the Hustler Fund. Number one, it has provided a platform for millions of Kenyans who have been looking for an opportunity to save. And number two, the Kenyans borrowing on this platform, they have not been derailed by the rhetoric of those who are against the Hustler Fund.
According to President William Ruto, 12 days since the Hustler Fund was launched, 7.5 billion shillings have been disbanded, adding that 1.1 billion shillings have been repaid, meaning that 70% of Kenyans have not repaid their loan.
And let me also say that the Hustler Fund has accumulated savings of close to 400 million shillings in just 12 days.
President William Ruto at the 59th Jamhuri celebration gave hope to the beneficiaries of the Kazi Mtaani initiative, stating that his government will from January next year employ 11,000 youth who will help in tree planting in Nairobi County.
To ensure that we reach the 15 billion trees planted across the country. And I want to thank the Governor of Nairobi. We are going to be working with the county government of Nairobi in the greening of our city. And we have agreed with the governor that beginning January, we are going to hire 11,000 young people to create the army that will green our city, those that were working under the old program of Kazi Mtaani.
The head of state encouraged other governors to join him in tree planting campaign. Shadrack Kareria, Look Up TV.
On that note of promises, we'll take a short break and come back in a bit with more news.
Bwana Richard, naona umeanza biashara.
Bwana. Kwambia, nilinunua hii mashini kutoka Makige Engineering. Inapunguza gharama ya ujenzi by 50%.
At 50 what?
50% bwana. Ona vijana wapata kazi. Wanatengeneza blocks 500 kwa siku. Na naendelea na biashara.
Ala, siri ya ujenzi, siri ni Makiga.
Buy your Makiga soap.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Right, Jamhuri Day, full of promises, and there was a theme for the first time. As this was happening, there was also, in the celebration, a lot of pomp and color. Let's take a look.
The scenery at the Nyayo Stadium Jamboree, Kenyans from all walks of life today mark the 59th Jamboree Day celebrations with pomp and color. President William Samoei Ruto made a debut of his first Jamboree Day at the Nyayo Stadium, a forum that saw the trooping of colors by the Battalion Kenya Rifle, who paraded their flags at the colorful ceremony attended by several dignitaries. The main stage arena was decorated with the Kenya national flag colors. The chairs used by the public audience also represented the Kenyan flags. The president presented presidential colors and honors to Kenya Army's battalion troops. After inspecting the guard of honor, the process was thereafter followed by the consecration and trooping of the colors by the defense forces.
3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion, we ask you to bid God's blessings on these colors.
We are ready to do so.
The colors symbolizing the spirit of regiment, for they bear the battle honor and badges granted to commemorate their gallant deeds.
Signs and emblems for allegiance to their rulers and of their duty to uphold these laws and institutions.
Entertainment did not miss out in the order of the day, with those attending the function privileged to be entertained by Kenyan Air Force Flypast.
Anainua ndege hiyo kwa umaridadi, kisha anatupa mizunguko ya kushoto. Mheshimiwa Rais, inafuata sasa ndege aina ya Puma.
Choirs, traditional and modern performances that were mainly Christian and patriotic themed.
Juguna the other side. Juguna anakata katikati ya kiwanja. Jugush, Crazy Kena, Content Cartel, Ngaruya, sasa wewe Ngaruya jameni. Red Cross tafadhali. Wapi makofi nduru yao tafadhali.
A thematic celebration focused on Kenya's growth in the information, communication and technology sector. Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV.
So there was new things to see. There was newness in the speech, there was newness in the parade, there was newness in the music and dance that you saw. And you also got a chance to speak. This is what we gathered, speaking to you at Nyayo Stadium.
FIFA imposed a ban on Kenya, citing government interference in February this year. The future was not promising anymore for local footballers in the country, following the ouster of Nick Mwendwa as the FKF president. Immediately after taking the oath of office, Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba vowed to engage with the world's football governing body FIFA to work on modalities of the ban being lifted, aside from battling the doping menace in the country.
We want right away to get onto this doping crisis. We have such a fine image as a sporting nation, and we cannot allow the greed the misconduct of a few people to destroy this hard-earned image.
I also want to make it public that since I took office last Friday, I have been in consultation with the widest spectrum of stakeholders in this area. I have also been constantly on the phone with FIFA. Indeed, I have spoken to FIFA 5 times already. And I'll be on the phone with FIFA again immediately after this press conference. My conversation with FIFA has been about finding a consensual resolution to the impasse that has hindered the return of Kenyan football to normal.
In his speech during the Jamhuri celebrations today, President William Ruto indicated that the government will prioritize the growth of football through grassroots league tournaments countrywide in a bid to ensure Kenya participates in the World Cup.
Through the revolutionary Talanta Hela plan, we will rebuild and monetize our sports and creative industry. As part of this plan, I will champion a grassroots football development program that will see national government work with county governments to invest heavily in youth football. Arrangements are at an first stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament to be contested by under-19 teams from all 47 counties.
The head of state also assured sportsmen and women in the country that his administration will battle the doping menace in the country, which is now tainting the country's image at the world's biggest stage.
On sports, my administration recognizes sports and the arts as a major industry that can employ millions of our youth and help grow our economy. This is why we have moved with speed to get our football back, to protect Kenya's proud athletes' pedigree from doping, and to streamline collection and distribution of royalties from our artists.
Ruto also indicated that Kenya will bid to host the African Cup of Nations in 2027.
In our Football Vision 2030, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Together, let us build Kenyan football from the grassroots of our villages to the grand stage of the World Cup.
Ian Kitani, Look Up TV.
It's not just me, even the president smiled, because Harambee Stars, it will take more than just a policy statement to get our very own Harambee Stars to the World Cup. Let's start with Eastern Central Africa first, see how that goes. Well, the celebration went everywhere, not just at Nyayo Stadium. The president led, and around the country, counties were also celebrating Jamhuri Day. Here's a glimpse.
Leading this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations in Bungoma County, Governor Ken Lusaka has called on the county residents to continue upholding peace despite existing political differences in the two folds.
Kwa hivyo nataka niwaomba tukienda katika Christmas tukule kwa utaratibu, na sisi tumeanza kazi. Next month wafanye kazi hiyo, mambo tuliwaahidi yote sasa wakati ya promises imeisha. Tunaanza sasa kutekeleza ile ambayo tumefanya. Tutashirikiana na wabunge na members of county assembly ambao wako hapa kuhakikisha kwamba kaunti yetu tunaipeleka mbele. Na mimi mnanijua, mimi si mgeni, mimi ni mchapakazi.
The leaders have voted to push forward proposals to ensure that they can sustain and develop micro businesses by licensing them.
Pale Nairobi yangu itakuwa kuhakikisha kwamba wanapounda bajeti za kuja katika kaunti za Bungoma, kipengele cha teknolojia na uchumi wa kisasa lazima uwepo kwenye bajeti, ili vyuo vyetu vya anuai na chuo kikuu cha Kibabi University, they must be transformed into ICT hubs.
Tunaomba hawa askari wetu hawa wakuwe na heshima. Kama mama hajauza, wakae hapo, auze apate pesa, alafu alipe ile ya tikiti. Lakini wanafika hapo asubuhi hata hajauza, mai wa mengo ni litore wa kekile. Taka kaunti ya Bungoma pamoja na majority leader pamoja na wetu ambaye uko hapa kili subafu, tengeneza sheria, peleka katika mswada wa kaunti yetu,
watu tupate fedha kidogo, small money, kutoka kwa watu wetu ambao wanatengeneza busa.
As Kenyans celebrate this day in different parts of the country, it was joyful for sick children at Shoe for Africa Hospital in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, as they were visited by star athletes from the 2 running club training camp. Led by London Marathon champion Amos Kipruto, New York and Boston Marathon champion Evans Chebet, among other stars like Emmanuel Wanyonyi and Eunice Sam, they gifted the children with Christmas gifts beside gaming and dancing with them.
It's our routine every year. Every end of the year, we normally come here to support the kids, to put a smile on the children's hospital and just to support them.
Kuja kuwasalamia watoto hapa Shoe Africa. Inakuanga furaha yetu sana tunapofunga mwaka hasa running club, kuja kuwafurahisha watoto, kuwatembelea, tucheke wote, tuwaletee zawadi ndio wafurahie. Hiyo ni furaha yetu sana na tunawaombea Mungu awafariji na awape nguvu.
The management of the hospital, which has been celebrating treatment of more than 1 million children since its launch in 2015, has called on other sportsmen to come out and help sick children during this festive season.
What we're doing here at Shoe for Africa is we have a new burns hospital starting next year. We have a new cancer hospital starting next year. We have the existing Shoe for Africa Children's Hospital. We have all these play centers. We have classrooms. We have playrooms. It's going to be an African children's village here in Eldoret. And the amazing thing for me is here in Eldoret there will be no other place in Africa will be treating more children than here.
So wherever the leaders spoke, you saw it. They were staying on message. That's the idea. And that's good for the country. I think if they stay on message, we'll keep monitoring what they're doing in the counties in other roundups. But that's our news for Jamhuri Day. Thank you for your company. Have a good night.